Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first couple of exemplar problems for how to do CA test corrections on your third common assessment. So if I'm looking at the first problem, and it says, what is the domain and range of the following quadratic function? The correct answer was B. But let's just say that I put A. When I go to my test corrections sheet, I'm going to look at the first question, and it says, what is the question asking? It's asking for the domain and range. When I look at the question, what am I given in the problem? I'm given the graph of the quadratic function. I'm given the graph of the quadratic function. I'm going to mark that I did this incorrectly. If you got the question correct, you do not have to do the test corrections. And now I need to solve here. I need to show my work in some way, so that way I can gauge your comprehension of the question. So if I'm looking at the domain and the range, so I would say domain equals x values. Write down as much as you can, define terms, show your work. Range equals your y values. So my domain, if I'm looking at what the domain could potentially be in this problem, the domain has got to be all real numbers. All real numbers. And the range is going to be based off of the y value of the vertex. So the y value of the vertex here, my maximum point is at 3. So I know that my range has to be y and something with 3. Now my y value and my vertex is a maximum. Write down as much as you can about this problem. Show me that you can understand what this problem is asking. My vertex is a maximum, therefore all of my y values are going to be less than or equal to 3. So if I looked at my range and my domain, I put A. The correct answer was B. I confused domain and range. That would be an example of showing all of your work. Let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 says, what are the roots of the equation? Let's assume that I got number 2 incorrect as well. The correct answer is B or G. Let's say that I put F. Okay, so what is the question asking for? It's asking for the roots of the equation. What am I given in the problem? I'm given the equation. Y equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. So how do I solve? Okay, first of all, I know that roots, so what do I know about the vocabulary? Roots are the same thing as solutions, x-intercepts, roots, zeros, all of these words mean roots. So I'm looking for the solutions. I'm looking for the x-intercepts. There are a couple of different ways that I'm going to approach this. So solving is going to be where I use graphing, I can use factoring, I can use square roots, and I can use the quadratic equation. I'm going to solve this one using graphing. The circle graphing. And then I'm going to plug this into my y equals x squared minus 6x plus 5, and then I'm going to graph it. I can tell based off of the graph that this should have two solutions. There are two x-intercepts. How am I going to find those two solutions? I'm going to find where y equals 0 in my table. So second and then table, I'm going to find the two places where y is 0. So 1 comma 0 is my first solution. And you can even look at the answer choice and you can say 1 comma 0, and then I know that 5 comma 0 has got to be my answer choice too. So I can scroll through my table and find that my answer is also 5 comma 0. And if I put F, maybe I didn't know how to do it. So I've shown my work, I've talked about what I know about this problem, I told you how I got it incorrect, and I gave you the correct answer. I'll do one more. I'll do number 3. Which of the following represents the quadratic function f of x equals blah 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 in standard form? The correct answer is C. I'll figure out which one I thought I put. So let's say I got this incorrect. I'm going to mark it incorrect. What is the question asking me for? It's asking for me to convert from vertex form into standard form. It's asking me to find the equation in standard form. What is given to me in the problem? What is my equation? F of x equals 5 x minus 2 squared minus 7. Gives me the equation. And now I'm going to solve. I'm going to do the box method first. Make sure that you're multiplying here. Combining right terms in the middle. X squared minus 4x plus 4. That's not my final answer. I still got to put my equals 5. X squared minus 4x plus 4 minus 7. What's my second step? Distribute that 5. 5x squared minus 20x plus 20 minus 7. Third step, CLT. 5x squared minus 20x plus 13 should be my answer, which is C. Maybe I combined like terms incorrectly. Show as much work as you possibly can. Show me that I can look at the problem and help you understand, or I can tell that you put extra work into this. So these are the first 3 problems that are done for you. 2 resources that you can use are your notebooks as well as my answer key from the CA. So feel free to ask me questions, your partner questions, consult my notebook, consult your notebook, or consult my answer key. Let me know if you guys have questions.